We're recording this time, so. All right, again, let's just, you can use your notes for the drill, but I'd like you to try to do it independently, put your answer on a board. Yeah.
Yes. Within this slide, this line, and this is one.
We just talked, that was about 8 feet, that out of my shoe, so it's like.
So when you yes, you have to make sure that money is moderate.
Yeah, and also, why I want you to label it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right, guys. Yeah, when you get your answer, I'll give you another like 30-35 seconds. Put your answer on the board, and on the board. You all good? Everyone got an answer on the board? All right. All right, what do we got? I've got some broccoli, got a lot of broccoli, so I got some dogwoods in the back. Looks like the front is health food broccoli, the back is dogwood. All right, Teddy, what is the price paid by the consumers after the tax?
After the tax, the consumers are paying $10.40.
All right, so we got 10.45, right? We just new equilibrium 10.45. So that just makes it C or D. All right, B guys, talk to me. All you guys should put B down. Why? There's a group of you. You got B. What got you to pick B? Did you have B?
I did have B, but.
What got you to pick B?
I thought, since I know that 10 is the price by producers, that, and 45 was the equilibrium, I just went above it and thought it just kind of mirrored it.
Okay.
But I see now that it's at the.
Okay. So the consumers are paying the new price, 10.45. Now, what are the producers actually getting? 9.45, right? So if you look at the tax revenue box, which is this box, the top here is what consumers pay, and the consumers pay, and the bot is what producers receive, okay? And this line here represents that line, that's the total tax. This is the tax consumers pay. And this is the tax the producers pay. Okay, so the answer would have ended up being probably my favorite, D as in dogwood. Okay. Any questions on that? Ronan, you do prayer, right?
Yep. God, for a good weekend, help us go into this week focus and years and better focus back the weekend with myself. Same about
Right for us. Trevor, how many sales did you have to make today?
Very.
And that's to keep your parking spot?
Just keep my parking spot.
Okay, I'm glad you kept it. All right, Monday, today, you should start reading chapter 7. The questions are up for chapter 7. Guys, when you graph in your homework, could you graph perfectly? And I don't mean that the shift's got to be perfect. I know you can make mistakes, but could you label everything? Could you put equilibriums on everything? Get into good habits. Those are easy points you're throwing away. And by the way, when you're doing like an FRQ and it's worth 30 points and you're losing one of the 6 points, it's like 5 points out of 30 you're losing for not labeling. So get into a good habit. All right, Tuesday, you should finish Wednesday. Wednesday night on Zoom, I'll do a review for chapters 5 and 6. Thursday morning, I'll do a review for 5 and 6. And the quiz will be in lecture on chapters 5 and 6. Practice quiz is already up. All right, for both those chapters. Yeah. Oh, then Friday, I'm giving you a graphing quiz. I'm going to tell you right now what's on the quiz. Remember how we did the shifters? It's kind of the same thing. There's no changes. So the 4 shifters of production possibilities curve. That's going to be on. Do you need me to go over those? No? Okay. I posted on your topics page. I put like graphing quiz. It has these graphs. Okay. So I'm going to say graph and excise tax. Show producer surplus, consumer surplus, deadweight loss. Graph price control. Show consumer surplus, producer surplus, and deadweight loss. Okay, so it's going to be the 4 shifters and those 3 graphs. To get a point, the graphs have to be perfect. All right, you know what they're going to be. Now, last year, how did kids study? They looked at the graphs and they said, I know. No, got to graph them. So if Stowe is studying, he's going to say, okay, he's going to take out a piece of paper. He's going to graph excise tax, producer, consumer surplus, deadweight loss. Then he's going to look at the graph. And if he's got it right, he knows it. If he doesn't, and it's probably good if you guys get with each other to practice and let someone else grade you.
For 2 classes, for the 4 shifters, is it just gonna like just be named 4 shifters, or is it gonna be like something?
It's going to be just name portion.
And then for both the excise tax and the price controls, is it just gonna say, is it gonna be like a problem?
No.
Or problem, or just graph?
Now, the graphs that are under the topics page, I'm going to just say, really draw that graph.
Okay.
So draw a price control, draw a price floor, show me producer, consumer, and deadweight. No problems. Okay. I just want us to get the shell of the graphs mastered. All right. All right, what was the average when we did the shifter? 9.9. One person didn't get 100. Okay. It wasn't Trevor. Wasn't Trevor. Like people are looking at you, Trevor. I know. All right. So this one's a little harder. Cause you have to label everything perfectly, but I'm gonna guess the average is gonna be above a 90. Okay, all right, any other questions? Okay, besides number one. Mr. Hubbard, could you draw number one on the graph? Draw a graph showing a dollar excise tax. Could you come up here and draw it? All right, could you talk with the rest with your partner?
What did you say? Yeah.
That's what 80%.
It's a positive quantity over it's one time for other costs. And it's negative.
Man, let's just do
Cross
this.
right.
No, it's
No, it's kind of. Every state price one. I think the hard on it is when you're gonna start something like that. It makes sense that you increase that as one. So if it's a negative, like a quantity. But if it's negative, you know, you guys. If I think about it, one increase price of it. People are buying less. But it's the. Alcohol aspects. Present trip. You have demand elasticity. Quantity of good egg. That's correct. With pricing.
No, I think fix it down.
So that means it's not elastic.
All right, besides number one. Alright, besides number one, is there anything you or your partner would need more clarification on? Yes, sir.
Unit elastic.
Unit elastic, first of all, it's one. Like the elastic coefficient is one, and unit elastic, if price goes up. Total revenue stays the same, if price goes down, total revenue stays the same. And then the last thing I probably want to know, on a downward slope in unit elastic is usually in the middle. We're elastic here and inelastic there. Okay? All right, anything else that you or your partner did not know?
The income elastic and cross price elasticity formulas.
You asked these guys and they didn't know it? For what's always on top? Percent change, so for income, percent change of quantity over percent change of income, okay? Positive number. Normal. Negative, inferior. Normal good meaning income up, demand up. Normal good, direct relationship, inferior, inverse relationship. You need a cross price too? John?
Yeah.
Percentage change, quantity demanded of A over percentage change, the price of B. Eddie, positive coefficient for this one is what? Eddie, substitute. And then the negative is complement. Who bears the burden of the tax incidence? Who bears the burden of the tax incidence? Huh? Maybe. That sometimes. But I wouldn't say that would be the right answer.
Consumers and producers.
Maybe, sometimes, but I wouldn't say that's totally the right answer.
Whichever one is the least one.
Yeah, whichever one is more inelastic. All right, so let's say there was a perfectly inelastic demand curve. Right? The consumer's paying the whole thing. Same thing if it was a perfectly inelastic supply. So whichever one's more inelastic. Now why? Why would that be? Why would we tax the inelastic one more? First of all, what is government trying to do when they tax?
They don't want,
Huh?
they don't want.
All right, they tax revenue, right? Okay, so why are they taxing the inelastic one more?
It's some, not something, so like, it's not sensitive to quantity and changes.
Right, so quantity demanded will go down very little, down there going more tax revenue, okay? So you always want to tax the inelastic. All right, so I think total revenue test, anyone know that? I didn't see a lot of hands going up. You know it, Eddie, go. What is it? All right, so it's inelastic if it's a direct relationship. Okay, how about if price goes down and total revenue goes up? That's elastic. Okay. And by the way, Greg, I know you're here for the love of learning, you couldn't give a darn about your grade or test, but there's definitely like 2 of these questions on the unit test, because they always put them on. Eddie, since you're doing a great job here, price up, total revenue doesn't change. That's unit, okay? So elastic, indirect relationship, direct. Okay? Any other, let me just flash you. I'll leave that up there. I think we pretty much got everything except the $1 excise tax. Okay. Joseph, just tell, you ready? Okay. Joseph. Is this correct? $1 excise tax? Huh? That was the problem. Draw a $1 excise tax. Huh?
No.
What's wrong with it?
Because if you take the difference between the, like where the like the tax is bigger than this, because that's just between the equilibrium.
So this is greater than $1 tax, right? All right, for it to be $1 tax, this would have to be 3 down here, and this could be like 3 1/4. All right, I mentioned this because 80% of the people who graphed the $1 tax on their homework did what this person did. They went from 3 to 4. The tax is that whole line. Okay. I might not have correct. Some of you just went P and P1. You didn't even put the $1 tax. But you got to be able to realize if they ask you to draw a $1 tax, the difference between The new equilibrium and the old supply curve is the dollar. Okay? All right, we good? Maybe I should erase this. All right, we'll do some more excise tax practice today. Hopefully drill down on it, get it really good. All right, this is in your notes. I know your notes don't print out like all the questions clearly, but at least you get to see the graphs. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to try to do this. Try to do it independently. See for yourself what you know and don't know. Circle what you don't know so you make sure it gets clarified. Best time to raise your hand is when you don't know, so I'll walk you through it, just me and you.
This was, yeah. So. What are you trying to avoid? I'm sorry.
Expenditures is price times quantity. It's just what the consumer is paying. I'm trying to use that word more because it shows up a lot on AP questions. So when they're saying expenditures in your mind, you can say total revenue, they equal each other. Because for every dollar you spend, I earn, I bring in. Okay? A real big concept in macro. This is. But five is just the same point. Yeah, what's the price? Total revenue is confirmed. What is you? What did you get for total tax revenue? Stupid. How many units? How many units are this?
It's going to get the same.
But then it would be 140 minus. How did I get total tax revenue?
Yeah.
It's the spot. Height is 2, base is 10. All right, sounds like you guys are in pretty good place. Christian, anything there that tripped you up?
Total tax revenue should be at
Okay, so I'm gonna skip. Did you something trip you up? Price times quantity. expenditures, Trev, are the same thing as total revenue before tax. Okay? And we'll go through them. All right, Trev, did you get one tax per unit?
I said $2.
Trev, it's not from here to here. The tax is this line. How long is that line? How many dollars? Three. So the tax is $3. All right, Christian, you said number 2, total tax revenue.
Yeah.
All right, Christian, if it's $3 per unit, how many units are we selling? No, how many units? What's the quantity? 10. So if it's $3 per unit times 10 units, 30. Okay. Troy, were you able to get?
I said it was $2.
All right, it's $2 per unit, which is right. If they asked you for the total tax revenue, it would be 20, $2 per unit times 10 units equals 20. They weren't specific, so you were wrong. Now, if you look at this tax revenue box, the consumers are always going to pay. Consumer tax contribution is going to always be above the original equilibrium, and the producers are always going to be below. Okay. So that being said, Cross, what is the producers? Right, $1 per unit times 10 units. And if I add 20 and 10, it does equal 30. So I'm on the right track there. All right. Trevor asked, and we talked about before, total expenditures. That's the price 14 times 10 equals 140. All right. Now, what's that saying is people are paying $14 per times 10 units. They're spending 140. Now, Matthew, what's the total revenue firms are bringing in after tax?
110.
Right. So they're getting 140, but they got to ship 30 of it out in taxes. So the firms are only getting to keep 110. Yes, sir. New equilibrium, yeah. Now, if they ask you, Eddie, total expenditures before tax, 12 times 12. Before, but after 14 times.
On the total revenue per firm, you would subtract the total tax revenue?
You would take price times quantity minus tax revenue. Or you could just take what the producer gets, 11 times 10. Right? It's going to give the same. Yes, sir. Ronnie.
Number 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Or sorry, yeah, 3 and 4. How's it? Just on how it's on, because aren't they paying like $2 tax?
Yeah, $2 tax, 10 units. It's $2 per unit. An excise tax is a per unit tax. So
So would they ask like total tax paid by consumers? Like was this one just like?
this isn't phrased very well. So if you if this was a test and you wrote 2, I would have accepted. If you wrote 20, I would have accepted. On your test, they'll be phrased better.
Is the total tax that the consumers pay always greater than or equal to the tax the producers pay?
No, because it depends about the elasticity. Like if the demand elasticity is very elastic, the producer's going to pay more. Okay. Anything else? Okay, good questions. Okay, there, just on the board is what the consumers pay, what the producers pay. All right. All right, let's get our boards. Let's answer. Let me just erase this. All right. Have a minute. Have a minute. Great questions there, by the way, great question. Okay, according to the diagram, what is the dollar amount of the unit tax? You should know, but don't look at anyone else. See what we got here. I've got some broccoli, some dogwood, $1. Dogwoods. Okay. All right. I'm looking on how long the tax is. I go from the old equilibrium down this line. So 1045 minus 945 D $1. Okay. All right, here we go. Next up, give you about 90 seconds on this one. Try to put a letter down instead of 45 letters. You got your graph in your notes. They're asking for consumer, producer surplus, deadweight loss. This after the tax? After the tax. Yeah, yikes. Thank you. Okay, give you another about 30 seconds for those who need. Yeah, John.
Has it always been A alpha, B broccoli, or do you switch it up?
Every year? Do I look like a guy who switches things up?
Yeah, Mr. President.
Okay, bro.
You could find someone who had me in 1982, and I was still using deer and dog. All right, what do we got? Lot of alpha. Oh, broccoli. All right. All right, just quickly, a P3 and above, consumer surplus. P, is that one? This is producer surplus. This is total tax revenue. D and E is deadweight loss. By the way, once you got producer surplus, you had the answer, right?
Yeah.
All right. Any questions on that one? All right, you can put that away. We're going to try one more practice excise tax one. Ask you some different tricky questions, trying to cover it all. There you go. Got about 3 or 4 minutes. We're a little tight on time.
Fine, they can see them in certain parts of the each one. We just need to.
Where's the triangle? Where's the triangle? It's this, right? Yeah. So we're gonna get this sometime. Cause they give you the numbers, right? If you need a calculator or want a calculator, just take your calculator out. All right, because we're tight, you should have much more time, but because we're tight on time and I want to go over the answers, I'm gonna stop you. All right. Greg, if I'm looking at consumer surplus before tax, what's the equilibrium price before tax?
$6, no, $4.
Five. All right, guys, please do not fall out like things, let the guy think. So, consumer surplus above the price, below demand. So what is the area of that triangle?
So the height is 3, and then the base is 9, so 3 times.
Now hold it. The base is 90, and you said 3 times 90.
Yeah.
And you divide by 2, right?
Yeah.
So 135? Good. All right. Total expenditures before tax. Who's got total?
So I did that equilibrium price.
So 5 times 90? Okay. Are we good?
Why is it $3 for,
For what?
I thought it would be $5. That's the price I use.
Guys. But it's the, John, it's the triangle, so it's the height, 8 minus 5,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Is there a unit or is it just?
For this,
Yeah.
it's just $450. It'd be on $450. If you really want to get. Ronan, did you get 3 tax per unit?
Yeah, it's $2.
Okay, you take this line straight down. 6 minus 4, we got $2. let's just do one more today. Total tax revenue that goes to the government. That's this box. Did anyone get that? Teresa? Right, 2 times 60 is 120. Okay? Any questions?
Could you just go over what you would do to get 7?
Total expenditures after tax?
Yes.
Price times quantity. Because consumers don't get anything. All right, have a great day.